welcome back. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, along with
CJ Lou from the Fired Up with CJ show. Woo!
If you've ever wanted to feel safe, secure, stable during these flipped upside down times, If you've ever wanted to feel safe, secure, and stable during these flipped upside down and backwards times, then do we have the Stability in Unstable Times show for you. Today we'll talk about getting grounded, finding peace, and getting divine guidance, even and especially during turbulent times. That plus we'll talk about an oasis in the desert, feeling like Job, waves and troughs, dark nights and blips on the radar, Roo Roo on the strip, and what in the world girls in feathers has to do with anything. Welcome back to the show, CJ. Are you ready to shine?
I am ready to shine. Woohoo! Okay, let's see what smell we need. Okay,
Right,
element
have you move
3.
your mic, if you could, just a
Okay,
millimeter
this direction.
away.
How about this? Element 3. Is this okay? Testing. Chakra 3, which is what I felt intuitively, and I just grabbed the bottle. Lavender, fir, and lemon. Will, Michael. Something about your personal will. Tell me more.
All right, hold on. I don't know why, but this interview is making me want to sneeze. So bear with me.
Okay, oasis in the desert, feeling like Job, waves and troughs, dark nights and blips on the radar. Okay, where to start? So many. So where did you, the last time I saw you, you were in Sedona. So where are you now?
We are in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. So I think I had a hot rod going by just there. We are at one of the top 5 luxury RV resorts in the country. So I am surrounded by $1 million RVs every which way you can see. I am on a street that has more palm trees than I've even seen in Florida. It is truly like an oasis in the desert. I have a tiki hut set up here with tiki lamps and thatched roofs above me and palm trees all around me. And this place is magical, just magical. I have an outdoor kitchen and barbecue and set up everything. It's truly an oasis in the desert. We drove here from Sedona. We spent a week in Sedona. We felt like we were kind of being sucked down into the earth. It wasn't, at least the place we were at wasn't resonating by the end. We also had, by the end, the place we were literally staying at, you had water for your RV and you had electricity, but you didn't have a way to dump any water. So as your tanks fill up, you use the sinks and the dirty water fills up. There's no place for the dirty water to go. So
that was symbolic.
Yes, we needed to get out of town, CJ. And so we came to Vegas because we were talking to our spiritual mentor on the phone, and she said, just think about it. You definitely want to get an RV. You want to be on the road. In fact, we've got some magical, not ideas. We know what we're doing for the show moving forward. We're very excited. I'll share about that. But she advised us 3 months, don't make a massive purchase yet. Just let's wait for the dust to settle from this election. Then make those big purchases. So where do you want to be for 3 months? Where do you want to check out? And Jessica goes, Vegas. And I'm like, what?
Wow, that's shocking. That's very non-nature oriented, as I understand it.
She looked at herself, so to speak, and said, what? But it was an intuitive hit to come to Vegas. Now, I am a trees, mountain, water kind of guy, to say the least. I have the mountains here. I have no
Red Rocks, right?
Yep, there's Red Rock, which we've been to since we got here a couple times. There is a message, a massive message here in letting go, and I'm still working through all of it. But we did come here, and at least to this Oasis Resort, which is not where we'll be living permanently. First off, we need to purchase a land yacht if we're to do that. We're renting one at the moment. We will purchase, but not this week. But we got here and we're like, wow, it feels like home. It felt so good, which was wild. Now,
wow,
universe is always steering, and I call her, well, universe gives you the cosmic setup. She will continuously bring you what you need, not what you want. And particularly during this time of the election and everything going on, I think it's good to understand what we need and what we want may be two completely distinct things. Always here to help us. So we get here and we're like, this is it. It's perfect. It's Shangri-La. We love it. Get
Wow.
outside. Roo Roo gets on the grass for a few minutes. We come back inside. One of our Inspire Nation coaches is going to a Chinese medicine doctor, Elisa Wampole, and can't recommend her enough. She's going to take us out on the strip. We're going to bring Roo to the strip. We'll tell you
What
about
is a
that.
strip? Oh, you
The
mean where
Las
Las
Vegas
Vegas
Strip,
is? Oh, you mean where all the hotels are?
where all the casinos are.
Or the casinos, yeah.
She's going to take us out. But
Yeah, and you're
before
going to
that,
bring the chicken on the Roo on the strip.
oh, heck yeah. But before we do that,
Oh,
the
gosh.
phone rings. We think it's a guest at the gate. And it's the front desk saying we've had several complaints. Now, we haven't had a complaint in traveling all across the country. And we already got complaints for Roo Roo.
Oh.
And our hearts broke and sank. And that night, Jessica's like, we're never going to be able to find a place to stay. We're never going to be able to find a place with Roo Roo. We're going to be lost. We're going to be adrift. It's the egoic mind that looks at waves and troughs and thinks when you're in a trough, that's all there is.
Mm.
Elisa, who I'll be telling you about in a minute, her husband is one of the top poker players in the world.
Mm.
He's won millions of dollars this year alone.
Wow.
And is one of the top players in the world, World Championship of Poker. And he talks about the waves and troughs, is that as a poker player, poker players overall at the top are really relaxed, really chill, and really happy because they know it's always in an oscillation. That when you're down, you don't embody the downness. You don't associate yourself with the downness. You realize it just means it's about to go back up.
Mm.
So that evening, we're hitting our wave or our trough. And the next morning, we're feeling really sad and pretty lost. We've left Sedona where we didn't have, flushing facilities. And here we are where, oh, this felt so great. And now we feel like, are we going to get kicked out? What's going to happen? And an RV pulls up. First off, I go to the front desk. And they're like, no, you guys aren't in any trouble at all. Take Roo Roo out if you need to. There may be a few cranky folk here. Don't worry about it. Don't keep them out if you're not there. But it was a really positive thing. We got back to the RV, and another RV pulls up right in front. And I'd only met a handful of people the day before. But a couple jumps out of the RV, and they said, we have to head back to California. My husband, he was one of the two people, just got a medical diagnosis that we've got to figure out. And they said, but we've been on the road for like 7 months. And they said, meeting Roo Roo yesterday was the highlight of our entire trip.
What? How
He's
come?
really special. Oh my God. The amount of love that he brings, CJ.
He's an enlightened chicken? Come on.
God, yes. And so it was the exact polar, believe they call it diametric opposite of you're in trouble, you may not be able to stay, to he is such a blessing, you're right on track.
Wow.
And it was so perfectly night and day that we just, during this time, can't associate with the trough. It shall pass.
Wow.
So, yes, long story short, we took Roo Roo. I believe Roo Roo asked me. It was past his bedtime. He needs to go to sleep. He falls apart at 6:35 Mountain Time. You hear him go, and he's just tired. And instead, I heard as I'm walking him around here, and I had a woman in her pajamas run out of her RV and said, can I take a picture with him? I'm like, you want to go to the strip, don't you, Roo Roo? And he's like, and we went to the strip. First, we go to
In your
Bellagio.
backpack, or what's that's
In my arms.
okay?
We haven't found out how to carry him in a backpack, so I'm holding him in my arms.
Right.
I wish that we had a documentary filmmaker. Jessica was doing the best she could, but we needed somebody outside of that. We have never heard the F-bomb as many times as we did, other than me growing up in Massachusetts, of going, look at that chicken. oh my boop, God, somebody's on the phone and going, I just saw a boop. And then everybody's running up to us. Can I have a photo with him? And he loves to be pet. And so he's got his chest out. He's got his Weddle dangling in front of him, all just love me. And he spent somewhere between 2 and 3 hours on the strip getting loved up by everyone. He was the great equalizer. It didn't matter if you were fat, if you were tall, if you owned a casino, if you were homeless on the street, what color, what creed, everybody wanted to come up to him. It was the coolest. I couldn't have had more people coming up to us if I had been carrying Elvis in my arms.
Okay, wow.
He's a rock star. And he's pure love. And we have made so many incredible friends. And on the strip, it was just such a magical experience. Around 9, it started to change. People started to get a little bit drunk. And as that energy switched from people fully awake, somewhat awake and aware, to inebriated, it was, you know that feeling. Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And so we did.
They're probably like, oh, I'm hungry. There's like a different energy that merged, probably.
But it was truly
wow.
magical.
Okay, what's Girls in Feathers?
So among the people that you have on the strip are like Tropicana dancers walking up and down the strip. And they all were flocking to Roo Roo. And I'm saying, you know, birds of a feather flock together. And so we've got like photos. He's got an Instagram page now. It's Roo Roo the Rooster or hashtag Where's Roo Roo. And it has pictures of him with several of the go-go or Tropicana dancers who came up to him and wanted their picture taken with him. It's just the funniest, coolest thing. So he's our guide. He's our angel. He is making it perfectly challenging. I know he can hear me. And so he is helping guide us to just the right landing spot. And if you take it on face value, you go, oh, this is difficult, this is challenging, this makes no sense, this is not sane. But if you realize it's all a cosmic setup and he came into our lives to guide us, you see it from a different level. And we went out a couple days ago to another part of town, which was really surprisingly seedy, and we won't be going back anytime soon. But we didn't have Roo Roo with us. And we're like, well, where's Roo Roo? So we really just want to bring Roo Roo with us everywhere we can.
Wow. Okay. And how are you feeling like Job?
I was asked by a coaching client this morning, and I'll revise the statement, but she asked me, so how do you like Vegas? And my initial response is, I hate it. It's not quite true, but it doesn't mean my ego, not my ego of I'm a great person, but my ego says, well, you need water, you need green, you need trails, you need this, you need that. And it doesn't match on any.
Yeah, like where are you working out? What are you doing for workouts in this oasis?
We got a mountain bike ride yesterday. I'm obviously getting a lot of walks in this resort here. I don't know if I'll get out for a hike today. We'll definitely get out for a beautiful hike tomorrow. There is nature around. It's just very different. And we're looking at homes near, like you said, Red Rocks. We're going to live where as close to we can, there's nature in our backyard. It's still very different. It's a city of 2 million. And my mind wants to point out all the things that are wrong. But if I go into automatic writing, it says, follow the flow. Colorado might be easy. Las Vegas may be very good for you for now. It's a place where you broadcast messages out to the world. It's a place of high energy. It's a place of hustle. We've been in hibernation for 2 years with miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. Jessica sick, smoke, fire, all of this. And so it may be that rather than being a place that have tons of snow where you hibernate for the winter, we're in a place where everybody's trying to get things out there to the world, and we surf that energy for a few months. So it feels like Job in that intuitively it feels right. It really feels right. But from a mind perspective, it feels, it not feels, how do you put it? It's like being inside of a fish going, God, I've done everything you've asked of me. Why did you put me inside of a fish? and God going, trust me, I've got a bigger purpose in
Hmm.
mind. I've got a bigger plan.
Hmm.
And so I have a feeling we're looking for homes now to rent just for a few months. I have a feeling we'll be here the next few months. I have a feeling it's like our New Jersey experience. When
Hmm.
I was on Maui and we were getting catapulted off of Maui due to Jessica sick and our finances many, many years ago, I was going anywhere but New Jersey. Please not New Jersey. Please not New Jersey. Of course, what you resist persists. And we ended up in New Jersey, childhood bedroom, all of that good stuff. You can hear all the other stories about it in different shows. That's where Inspire Nation came from.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it took off. That's where we first hit the top of the charts. That's where everything good came out of being less than 20 miles outside of New York City, a go-getter place where we lived right on the side of the highway, where everybody was working their way into the city for the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is a similar situation.
I think you're about to get a show, a Las Vegas show. I just see you with crowds with the chicken and the Inspire Nation show in Vegas.
Man, the numbers on Instagram are very humble but doubling daily for his Roo Roo thing. Maybe it wasn't meant to be Inspire Nation at all. Roo Roo the Rooster. Hashtag where's Roo Roo? That's where the action.
Woo woo! It's not woo hoo. It's woo woo. you
We
just
were very close
you just
all these years.
you're slightly off.
We were very, very close. And his is woo-hoo. So I am
Just
trusting,
1 degree off.
exactly, trusting and having faith
Wow.
that what I think I want may not be what I want at all for the moment. Now, we have some really exciting news and plans, which is as soon as this 2 or 3 month hiatus, as soon as the dust settles and we see if prices bubbles blow up, who knows what. We're not gloom and doomers, but we're going to wait out and just see before we make any massive purchases. We're going to get ourselves our own land yacht. We are going to travel to guests, and being here actually makes it very easy to reach guests on the West Coast. We are going to morph kind of our video show to be more kind of like comedians in cars getting coffee, the Seinfeld show,
Right.
where we're going to have a setup in the beginning. We're talk about what we're going to do when we go to meet CJ Liu, what lessons we want to learn, what's the experience going to be like. People see us getting in our RV. Who knows? Maybe they're RV sponsors in the future. And we drive on up to Seattle. We meet you in person. We have a talk with you, and then we drive about our merry way. And it's going to be a show like that. So more engaging, more interactive, more living our lives, more of the journey. Because that's what we're on, is a journey. And we are so excited about this now. This lights us up. So we have regular interviews, but it's diving into the lives of our guests, so sewing us into those lives or vice versa, and the journey along the way.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, you've been kind of leaning this direction for so long, Michael. You've been talking about visions of you being on the some type of moving vehicle going to your guests. So it's the fires forced you out of your living comfort zone so that you could go out and explore and have an adventure, and your life circumstances kind of brought you to a place where you were just willing to let go of whatever your visions were or what you thought was going to be and allow what will be to emerge.
So we're going to be the Jack Kerouac / Roo Roo of Inspire Nation. Out on the road.
Okay, so I'm really curious. What does $1 million recreational vehicle look like, or what is it?
So $1 million recreational vehicle looks like, looks like from the outside a rock and roll bus. We've all seen rock and roll tour buses.
Yeah, so they're pretty big.
They're 42 to 45 feet in length.
So there's not much longer than yours is 35, right? So it's
ours is 35. So it's up to 10 feet longer. Instead of a regular set of wheels in the back, you have a double set of wheels in the back.
Okay.
So they call it a tag axle, an extra axle back there. You go inside and you may have an additional room. You definitely have a second bath. You have a walk-in closet.
What? How wide is this thing?
10 feet wide when it's driving, which ours is.
Okay. Okay.
And then it could be 14, maybe even 16 feet wide when it's parked. It
Wow.
expands out to the side. So ours is 10 feet wide while driving, and it's about somewhere between 15 and 16 parked. So others could add, well, you might even be able to get them, they might have some that are even 18 feet wide. They get 4 feet wider on each side and expand outwards. They call it slide outs. The side or wall of the vehicle will slide outwards when you're parked.
Okay, and so I don't understand how this works. I don't understand how they squeeze one whole bathroom and why you need more than one bathroom.
So you
Wh-
need, if you're a happy married couple, 2 sinks or
Oh,
potentially 2 toilets, depending on the timing of everything. So,
okay.
or you get out of the shower and you need the bathroom at the same time that I may need the bathroom. You could use,
Oh, not enough room. Okay, I get it.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
So if I walk into, let's say, $1 million RV, so I walk in through, we'll call it a front door. It can be in the front, it could be in the middle. You walk in and you step up these stairs, you get inside, and you've got all sorts of lights, kind of like Vegas around the ceiling, but tactfully done. You might have some mirrors or raised levels of wood tactfully done above you. Picture a yacht,
Hmm.
and you look back. And the ones that we're looking at, you turn and look back, and what are you faced with? First, there is an L-shaped couch facing back down the hall of the RV on
Okay,
one
so
side.
so it's like so where the drivers are, there's an L shape looking at the back of the RV.
Yeah, right
Okay.
behind the driver's seat, an
Okay, got it.
L-shaped couch.
Okay.
And then across from the L-shaped couch is some sort of a table or dinette setup there.
Okay, got it.
You look backwards from the L-shaped couch, and it is angled at a fireplace and a giant flat screen TV.
Wait, I don't understand. So are you saying in back of you? Why would the TV be in back of you?
So, okay, the L is facing toward the back of the RV.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you go 10 feet past the L, everybody
Yes.
who sits in that couch is facing approximately toward a fireplace, and it's angled, it's diagonal, a fireplace and a flat screen TV.
Okay, got
Picture
it. So
this.
there's like the L-shaped couch, and then there's a couch that faces that L-shaped couch.
Nope. So let's see if we can try this one more way. Picture the center of the L-shaped couch where the two angles come together,
Yes.
and it's facing toward the back of the RV.
Yes.
If you draw a line out from that pointed center
Yes.
diagonally across, that's where you'll have a wall past the
Oh,
dinette
okay.
with a fireplace and then above it a flat screen. So in the couch, nobody is directly facing it. The people the L are looking at it slightly off one angle, the
Right.
people on the other part slightly off the other angle.
I
But it's
see.
basically a full living room.
Wow, interesting.
You go to the other side of the fireplace and the TV. So into your next room, you have a full kitchen
What?
with a stove, a washing machine, a microwave, countertops, Korean countertops, and you can even have a slide out so you have a center island.
What? And so like all this stuff is an accordion that folds up, and then when it
Yes.
gets bigger, it expands in. So all the like appliances and stuff are in that corridor of where the fireplace is, and then when it expands out, you have like
They'd be opposed. They'd be exactly opposed to the fireplace, the way
okay,
it would work out.
okay, got
Yes.
it.
And you have a foot aisle when you're driving. When you're parked, the room could be 10 feet wide of floor space before your couch and your other
I
stuff.
get it. Okay, so you have these two rooms, one which is a kitchen and dining room, kitchen area. The dining room is this kind of place, this L-shaped thing with the table, and then the living room is on the other side where you can see the TV. And then where's the bedroom?
So if we go past the kitchen will be on one side, and the other side there'll be just down the hall is your first bathroom. And then you go to the master bedroom, which will be a king size bed. And that
Wow.
has another slide out on it. And you have all of your cabinets and stuff, another TV in there. And
Wow.
then we go past the master bedroom, and it's a full size bedroom. And then you have a giant walk-in closet / wardrobe, and a master bath.
Right. Wow.
And it can be that's the layout that we like the best. Now you can have ones that are fancier than others, that are more custom wood than others, but that's the basic layout that we're looking at.
And these mobile homes, I mean RVs, they can go anywhere, right? I mean, they can do
You
most of them.
couldn't, so in anything longer than a 35, and that's why we're driving a 35 right now, you can't get in some of the national parks. But you're not supposed to film in the national parks anyway, as a general rule. You know, you throw up a little bit, nobody's going to worry. You do shows from the national parks and probably red flags. So the larger ones will go just about anywhere. You do have to have more forethought of getting into gas stations, more forethought of where you're parking. And you're certainly not going to be throwing a U-turn after you miss a turn. You're going to be going a few miles and doubling back.
Wow.
But you can go just about anywhere, and it means that you can live a luxurious lifestyle at really a fraction of the rent, and you can go just about anywhere, and you can be living like we're
Wow.
living today.
Okay, how much do you have to pay once you go to a campground?
So, and while I'm describing that, that's an example of $1 million one. There are $100,000 ones that made that layout as well. So you
Wow.
don't have to be. The $1 million ones will be fancier wood, fancier interior, bigger motor, upgrade after upgrade, and then you pay for a name. Like just like buying a car. If you buy that $1 million RV, and we've been looking at the $500,000 to $1 million range, but looking at it a couple years old, knock the price down a quarter of
Wow.
the amount. So, which is great, because you don't really want to buy an RV new, because you're buying a house on wheels. What does that mean? You're going to have problems galore. No
Right.
matter, every house has problems when you get it. Let somebody else figure out the problems. Then you buy it.
Right.
So
Wow.
we're in the most posh place possible. And you're at more or less, well, the number for this site, I love it. It's $111 a night is what we pay. $111 a night.
Okay, a night.
For the most posh place out there. You can get other places for $20, $30, $40 a night.
Oh.
So, or if you're really trying to what they call boondock it, meaning do it for as inexpensively as possible, you can stay free on the side of the road. You can stay free in a lot of forests. You can stay free at Walmart or even some Whole Foods parking lots, though Whole Foods wouldn't condone it. Walmart does actually welcome you. There are lots of places you can stay for free, and then you pay, and there's a whole tribe out here of people. You might pay once a week to go someplace where you can empty your water and fill up with water. And so you're paying $100, $200 a month in rent total.
Wow.
And then whatever is your payment on an RV, $100,000 RV, monthly payment, if you do a long term, be $1,000 a month.
Wow.
So there are people who are moving out of their family homes and into an RV and paying a fraction of the cost, having a high quality of living for their children and for themselves, and are having a lot of freedom. So it's a whole different way of living.
Wow, this
that
is
we've discovered.
fascinating. Wow. And if you compare it to the creature comforts of your living in Colorado, where you had like a washing machine.
We have a washer dryer.
I know, but like it's as big, or I mean, like I assume like one of the wonderful things that you had mentioned already is that it forces you to just keep the critical items. It's like total no frills, like you don't accumulate stuff because you just can't.
You're a tiny house on wheels for all the benefits and all of the challenges.
Yeah.
Most people get what's called storage envy over time, which is, where do we put the stuff? We are challenged quite frequently of wait a second, we just took an hour or two cleaning yesterday, and the place looks like it's a barfed out disaster today. Now, we do have a rooster with us and 3 kitty cats. So E-I-E-I-O. But, God, I love it. I love it. Jessica is really coming around to really enjoying it too. She likes some place to call home, like to come back to, and it could be like if you're really not crazy, but if you're really, I don't even know what the word is. So we're spending $111 a night to be here. This is the most expensive place in the country. So, or pretty much at the top. If we wanted to, we could put down $100,000 and buy one of these spots. And then we can come stay here anytime we want for free. So you could always have a landing zone, and then you can rent it out while you're not there.
Oh.
So that it pretty much pays for itself. We were offered or told about a spot, and we can stay for free, and because there's this whole community, and so everybody's telling everybody, we can help you out, we can do this. There's a place by Encinitas, California, where a similar spot will cost you $30,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
And you could stay there anytime you want for free. So you could live there, $30,000 to $40,000. You've got your home with you. You've got some grass. You've got your water. You've got your this. You don't have really as many critters, and we love critters. But there's a whole different way to do this at a fractional cost.
Wow. Who would have thought? So what about baby? Like, how does a family work with this? Have you run into any people with families, and how do they do it?
Many families.
Wow.
So it's a very popular way. In fact, there's a whole movement that I'm just starting to learn about called schoolies, where families are buying converted school buses and raising their kids in school buses now. So, which are full-on converted RVs.
Oh, wait, so they actually have the same amenities, but they can't expand out, can they? Or do they just rig these things
I was checking
in?
into it this morning. I think some of them you can. So same amenities on board, kitchen and living room and bedroom and all of these things. So there's,
wow.
For ourselves, what are the drawbacks? We don't have the critters yet. If we stayed in this place, we've already seen hummingbirds. We know we could call them in very, very quickly. I'm sure we could get all the animals that we wanted here. You don't have a big yard, so if you don't find a place where they're liking Roo Roo, then you have to keep him inside most of the time so that he's not crowing. That's a legit concern. It is hard downsizing initially. I am loving it. It brings such order and such focus to what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. And like, you don't go out shopping at tourist shops looking at knickknacks, because
no knickknacks. Yeah, no knickknacks.
What drawer is that going in? Where in the closet is that going to fit? Do we really need it?
Exactly. Wow. Wow. Wow.
But then we have everything else, and okay, it's cozy. We're enjoying that. Jessica this morning, she was working at the kitchen table, and she had one kitty to her left, one kitty to her right, Roo Roo, who's doing better now about kitchen table etiquette, up on the table with her, and she's like, I've got 3 other beings within a couple feet of me. It's just so cool. We've got all the comforts. You've got a full-on movie theater in this place.
Wow.
And you can pick up and you can go, I want to go visit CJ, or I want to go visit Dr. Dawson Church, or Dr. Bradley Nelson, or whoever you name.
Well, Joe Dispenza is in this area too.
That was the next one I was going to mention. You can go visit Joe Dispenza.
Wow. I just can't wait to see you and this van. Okay, but I'm confused. You said that you're going to rent a place in Las Vegas for 3 months. Is that so you have like a temporary home?
35-footer. Yeah, this 35-footer is a rental for 2 more weeks.
Right.
Then we are going to plant ourselves in Vegas, probably a better term. But we're going to put ourselves in Vegas, a town called Summerlin, just to the west of Vegas, for 2 or 3 months. We're gonna see what happens with everything, because right now, for instance, RV prices are at a peak right now. They've never been this high. Just like most housing prices have never been this high outside of the city, and we're gonna wait. And I don't think there's going to be a spike in prices. Maybe prices are the same 2-3 months down the road, or maybe they precipitously drop.
Who knows?
Who knows? And then we purchase something, and do we call Vegas our home base? I don't know. Is Colorado our home base? I don't know. I don't need to know. This is a message in having faith, feeling this will work itself out, and then we're going to go put the show on the road.
Okay, Hoover Dam. Have you been there?
We drove over the highway parallels Hoover Dam, so you could look over Hoover Dam as we drove into town. That's on the other side of town, Boulder City by Henderson.
Yeah, because it seemed like I kind of recall like green areas there.
There are green areas there.
Okay.
So off possibility as well. I am not and yes, I'm a water person. We talked about last week. You
I
need
know.
water, and so I'm in the desert here, going, "What, man?
I know. That's
We'll
why I was
go."
thinking Hoover Dam maybe like near the water.
I went for a hike by Red Rocks,
It's
place,
beautiful, yeah.
uh, um, a trail called Clark's. I want to call it Clark's Canyon.
Hmm.
And I go up over the saddle and down into this valley where amongst the red rocks is about a 50 or 100-foot wide riverbed of gray stone among the red rock.
Hmm.
And I went sprinting for the riverbed. And I'm a human dowsing rod. I've got twin titanium femurs and hips. I feel energy. I really feel energy. And I strip off my moccasins, and as if there was water, I just basically flop back onto the riverbed. And I don't know if there's water flowing underground because it's a desert or what. It was the most peaceful sensation. One of the top 3 places on Earth I've ever connected to Mother Earth. It felt so incredibly peaceful in the middle of a desert.
It's fascinating. Yeah, because there
So
must be
there,
underground springs then or something.
and I just laid there for as long as I could until we had to actually leave. Jessica laid down beside me. Elisa, our friend, laid down as well, and it was just delicious. It was amazing. So there will be oasis, even though my mind, when you get me out there, like house shopping later today, we'll be doing the song "To Freak Out." Dun, 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 dun. But good, my mind will freak out. Good, I'll feel uncomfortable. Good, I'll feel flip-floppy. Good, my mind will say, "What have you done with your life?" Good, good, good. I'm expanding my comfort zone for what I feel I need. I'm expanding my comfort zone to handle more discomfort and become more resilient. And I am listening to spirit instead of saying, "Well, this is I need this, I need that, I need the other." And I'm saying, "All right, spirit, I'll take it as it comes, and let's see what comes of it. You have a bigger plan than me."
Wow, Michael, so exciting. Really, really exciting.
So here we go, Inspire Nation from
On the
Sydney.
road. Wow. So I think you're going to have to go on Inspire Nation on Wheels. No, something inspired, something. I don't know. You're going to have to change the title
So
of
I've
your
thought
show.
about Vision Quest and Quest because it really is a quest, a thirst for spirit, for leading from intuition, from leading from the heart, from learning from masters and how they're living these lessons. And this is kind of our quest and our journey that we will be taking people on weekly.
Wow, so exciting. Well, I just only have one thing to update people on
Yes.
my side, but because I know both of us have to go in a couple minutes, but I told you how I was taking this 5 elements class, and I was saying, Michael, you need to have earth and water, which sounds like you got as much of it as you can, given that you're in a desert.
My feet are on the cement that's as close to ground as I got, but I've got trees, at least for the moment, till I'm out in the desert. I am surrounded by trees and bushy goodness.
Yeah, so you're as close as you're gonna get. It sounds like the environment that you're in. I have it was yesterday was the anniversary of my dad's death, and so it was interesting just going through that process of it wasn't really grief so much as knowing that my dad is always with me, whether he is in form, material form or not. And, I've been struggling probably forever trying to figure out why he died. How did he die? I mean, because he died in such a very mysterious way. And, even though I have read, I know that it's just his path and that it's my path and his path, and how we cross paths together was just meant to be. It's his karma. It has nothing to do with anything above and beyond that. And, what's been interesting about taking these 5 elements is noticing physical pains in my body that have been there forever and I just haven't resolved them. And one of them is the large intestine, which is like maps to this part of my body.
Okay.
And that maps to metal, which maps to grief. And so, and then the other part is water, which is this kind of area here in your body, and it relates
So
to,
before you were kind of almost in hip or above hip area at the
yes,
center
it's like,
abdomen,
yeah,
and now you're right center abdomen or lower towards bladder.
yes, yeah. So this, yeah, so it's kind of lower to bladder, and then large intestine, and then I think this is kind of where I think it's kidneys, I think, is water. And so understanding those points and the importance of getting into those points. So that's what I've been doing. And
Last words of wisdom you want to share with people, CJ?
I just think I love the idea of creating life that you want, the way that you want. This has been your vision for so long, Michael, that I'm really excited to see it manifest. Really, really excited.
Woohoo. Thank you. And for everybody, we've got a boot camp coming up on, if you're listening to this, probably this coming Wednesday, where we're going to take the next 4 Wednesdays in a row, and we're going to do some hardcore work on helping you build your life and build stability in unstable times. Because though the winds may swirl around, and we had that with a dust storm a couple of days ago, you can find stability and you can build a life of your dreams. And so we're going to be teaching that from the RV, from on the road, from this oasis. And you can find that at inspirenationuniversity.com, or our automatic writing program, which is what we've been using to guide us through our journey. And that's automaticwriting.com. So with that said, for everyone out there, this is Michael Sandler and
CJ Lou from the Fired Up with CJ show,
saying be well, have fun, let go of what you think you need, and find just what
divine wants.
Let go of what you think you want, and you'll get just what you need for the most special, not necessarily easy, but special journey through these times. And above and beyond all else, shine bright.
Woo!
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. I would love your support in any way by giving me comments below, or to subscribe to the show, or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.